Mon Capitone, who's not in the building, but he's always the overseer, always checking on us. My main man, President Larry Ivory. So El Presidente, I know he's watching, and he's like, buddy, do what you do. So I got to do what I do. Hold on. Now we're going to go around the horn and do what we do best. And on my right, coming in at, I ain't gonna even say your weight, man. I ain't gonna even do you like that, but you my main man, MC Mike P. What's good, baby?
Man, listen, I'm light on my feet. I don't know what you're talking about. You better come on down here. We came here to wake it up on this morning. We came here to unpack it on this morning. But you know what? Just like you're the proprietor of Coupon Vodka,
Yes,
I
sir.
am MC Pearson of 25mprinting.com. I'm talking about, that company that's just taking care of all of your print needs, whether you need
Print.
whether you need that union bug on there or whether you need, it doesn't even matter because we ship it all over the country. But you know what? Without any further ado, I know we're gonna crack this thing open on
Yes,
today,
yes.
but
Yes.
we won't be doing it without the illustrious super producer,
Come on now.
Miss LaDonna Raeh.
Hey, it's LaDonna Raeh, and I'm with Raeh Consulting. We will advertise all of you, all your advertising needs, right? Get you raise that awareness. But I'm just so happy to be here with the chamber and you guys. The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce is really doing things, and I want to just say to everyone, everyone's excited about Kamala Harris being endorsed now and pushed forward for that ballot, but you can't do anything about it if you're not registered to vote.
Come on now.
That's all I got.
And we're gonna keep spilling that tea over and over and over again to November. And on the silent side of me over here on my left is my main man Chris, but all he gonna do is wave and keep pushing keys. All right now. So we're gonna get into today's topic, today's show, and we hope you enjoy, but we hope you have a takeaway. So what I like to do, I like to hit him with that crossover and throw that oop back over to my super producer, El Ray. Who we got in the building with us this
Man,
morning?
we got Miss Tanya Wallace Goburn. She is the executive director of the Chatham Business Association. It is so awesome to have her on here. And actually, I think I misspoke because she is not with the Chatham Business Association.
National.
The
She,
National Black
thank you for
Worker
correcting me.
Center.
Yes, the national, because the look on her face said I was wrong, and I was like, okay, let me go back to my notes here.
She just got promoted.
Yeah, she just took on another
We
job,
giving her
but
that exec job
no,
right out the gate.
yeah, it's Tanya Wallace Goburn, and obviously I said I misspoke, but she is with the National. Um,
Black
thank
Worker
you.
National Black
Center.
Worker.
Yeah, National Black Worker. I'm sorry about that. Look, my eyesight is really bad
Look,
today.
it's
Let me.
not even a problem.
You know what? Introduce yourself,
Hey,
okay?
fam, it's good to see all of you all and be in this space. Thank you for the invitation. So, LaDonna, look, I'm from Chicago and I'm actually from Chatham. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'll take that any day. But right
Thank you.
now, I am Tanya Wallace Goburn, and I'm the executive director of the National Black Worker Center. And the National Black Worker Center is a network of Black worker centers across the country. It's 18 of us that are working to end anti Black racism and discrimination in the workplace.
Oh man, I'm loving that right out the gate because there's a lot of black power going into that spiel. So, MC, I want to know, what do you want to know from Ms. Goldberg this morning?
So, do you guys primarily work with businesses, or do you work with consumers that may have be experiencing racism or being marginalized? What is the focus, of the organization, and how do you help small businesses or consumers?
That's right. So that's a wonderful question, Pearson, because a lot of people don't know what Black worker centers are. And so, what I'd ask you to do is think about your first job and what you were told going into that job. So, my first job, I was 15, and my mother told me to keep my mouth shut and my head down because she knew I had a smart mouth and she didn't want me to get fired. And that's, I think, the reality for a lot of Black people when they go into the workplace. We are taught what we need to do to please the boss, to be a good employee, but we're not taught what our rights are, how we can stand up for ourselves, how to protect ourselves, and that's what Black worker centers are all about. We are specifically for workers, for employees, for people who are needing assistance and learning what their rights are, how to stand up for themselves, how to make sure that they are working in a safe condition, to make sure that they're not dealing with racism and discrimination in the workplace. We advocate for workers and we work to pass legislation that improves working conditions specifically for Black workers.
So how does somebody that, they're listening in right now and they're saying, you know what, I'm going through some of these things in my workplace right now and I don't have an advocate. How do I even reach out to you guys?
Well, that's one of the main things that I want to talk about today. Next weekend on August 2nd and 3rd, we are holding the Working While Black Expo. And so it is 2 days of empowerment, of learning, of training, of speaking with attorneys, and we're encouraging everyone to come out. We're kicking it off with the party on August 2nd from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Chicago Teachers Union. And then on August 3rd, we're getting down to business. We'll start off at 8 o'clock in the morning. The Chicago Teachers Union is located at 1901 West Carroll Avenue. We encourage people to come out. We've got music, we've got food, we've got entertainment, we've got education, we've got learning, and we hope that everyone to it ready to go.
Well, Miss Goburn, you know what? You just dropped all the knowledge we need to really connect with you and get the people involved and keep them going. So we appreciate you coming on this morning, sharing what your initiatives are for the National Black Workers Center. And we appreciate you. And we definitely going to be following and keeping in tune. And I'm going to tell you this. I hope to see you down here at the National Convention for the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce,
All
August
right.
7th and 8th at the Paradise Hotel. So now we're gonna go ahead
Wait,
and cut.
before you go, is
Hold on.
Tanya? Are you getting registered for the convention?
I'm
Because I
looking.
really
Look,
want to
look,
see you
look,
there.
look, look, look.
Okay, give me the information and I'll be there. And I want to see y'all at the expo as well. You can check us out by going to workingwhileblackexpo.org and share your information with us. I see it coming up on my screen, and I'll do my best to be there.
All
All right.
right, that sounds good. So you know what we do at this time? We're gonna take this break and we're gonna come on back with my main man, Robert Johnson, Esquire. You know what we do. This is the wake up show, y'all.
And we're back. You're listening to the Wake Up Show Chicago. I'm LaDonna Raeh here with Buddy Luv and MC Pearson. You know, I want to make sure that you all do get out and register and vote. And speaking of registering, go to ilbcc.org so that you can be at the convention. It is called Getting Down to Business. You just heard the commercials. We are really pushing this because it's a moment for you to matchmake and hear industry leaders speak about certain industries that we have at the conference. And speaking of our dynamic speakers, I'd like to introduce our next guest, which is he's a visionary leader dedicated to social justice and economic well-being for underserved communities, leveraging his expertise in law, management consulting, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. He currently serves as the Chief Equity Officer for Bezos Academy and managing partner of Solomon Group LLC's Chicago office, while also providing legal counsel and Green Spoon, am I saying this right, Martyr, LLP, and presiding over the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce Political Action Committee and one of our keynote speakers at the Getting Down to Business 19th Annual Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce Convention, Mr. Robert Johnson.
Yo, yo, good morning, fam. Wow, that was quite a lengthy introduction. Thank you, thank you.
Hey, I almost jumped in here to say, who is she talking about?
Right,
I said, she
you
can't be
know.
talking about Rob.
Listen,
Not my man.
Yeah, they just talking about Rob. They just talking about little Rob.
listen. I look. His introduction could have been, if you want to know how to become a millionaire, listen to him. That would have did it for me. You know. Good morning, Rob. How's it going, sir?
My man.
I'm good, brother. I'm good, brother. How are you doing?
Man, look, I'm doing better than most and even better than that. But now that you on the line today, see, when we talk about generational wealth and wealth building and how to go from 0 to 100, you know what? I tell them about Mr. Robert Johnson and about his conversation, So I just need you to crack this thing open a little bit for us on today. You know how you get somebody, you go to a restaurant and you're gonna get the main meal, but you're gonna get the appetizer. I need the main meal is your keynote down at the conference. For those who don't know, Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce conference next month. But I need you to give us some appetizers, man, because I
Okay.
need to lick their lips. I'm talking about just get thirsty about it. So come on, Doc.
But absolutely, we're gonna be getting down to business at the conference, and what we're gonna be talking about is how to create Black generational wealth. In particular, how to create wealth through the power of Black franchising. We all would talk about how to get that bag, and how to start a business, and everybody wants to get their LLC and get out there in these streets and do what they can for whatever it is that they believe in. But the reality is, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. And let me give you an even more startling statistic. Out of the 3.6 million Black businesses that exist in the United States, 96% of them are solopreneurs. It's just one person out there trying to do their thing, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, the failure rate is 9 out of 10. If you look at franchises, 7 out of 10 franchises succeed. So look at the odds. 9 out of 10 fail versus 7 out of 10 succeed. And let's look at the reasons why franchising is such a powerful model. For example, for the starters, they already work in our community. The average McDonald's does $2.8 million and employs 65, on an average, 65 employees, most of whom don't have a college degree or is run by somebody who may or may not, English may or may not be their primary language. The average Burger King does about 1.3. Average Wendy's does about 1.2, 1.4. If there's a Chick-fil-A in your neighborhood, it can do in excess of 3 million. So these franchises, these businesses already exist in our community. They work. The problem is a lot of them sell products and sell things that are not positive for our community. They contribute to obesity, fast food, all of those things. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The concept of franchising works. The problem is we have to identify the right franchises for our community. And there's about 6 or 7 reasons why I'm such a big proponent of franchising for our community, and not just the fact that they exist in our community and that they work, but a franchise is a proven business model. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have somebody who has a vested interest in your success. The more money you make, the more money they make. So somebody who's already figured out the blueprint and they're just giving you the blueprint. I ask this question every time I get in front of a group, and I'm always surprised at the answer. I just mentioned McDonald's a few years ago, and one of the things that wasn't mentioned in my bio is that I worked for McDonald's for 15 years as their in-house counsel, and then went over to the business side and was the company liaison to all the Black McDonald's owner operators in the country, and the women and the Asian and Hispanic owner operators in the Midwest. And what I saw firsthand, McDonald's has made more minority and women millionaires than any other company in the world. When I was overseeing the Black McDonald's owner operators, there were 500 franchisees that were part of the BMOA, the national MBMOA. That's over 500 multimillionaires. No other company could boast that number of Black millionaires, multimillionaires. And then when you add the suppliers and all of the people that were ancillary to McDonald's, you're talking about probably another couple hundred millionaires. So I seen this work firsthand. When I left McDonald's in 2014, they were a $65 billion company. And I ask your audience, I ask your panel, what does McDonald's sell?
What do they sell?
What did they sell?
Well, they
Everybody
really
been to a McDonald's, what do they sell?
well they sell food.
Franchises.
There you go. That sister hit it right on the first time somebody got that answer right. McDonald's
That's
does not
right.
sell French fries. They do not sell hamburgers. They do not sell milkshakes. The franchisees sell that. McDonald's only sells one thing, franchises, because they recognize that that is the most powerful business model out there. If you and I wanted to start a business, let's say if we wanted to start a coffee shop, it costs us $150,000 to start that coffee shop. It goes well, we killing it. All right, we want to do another. How much is it going to cost us if we want to start another coffee shop? Another $150,000. Well, where that money going to come from? It's going to have to come out of your pocket, out of the bank, which ain't going to give you the money, or you're going to have to get some investors and try to raise the capital to do that. That ain't an easy process. If we decided that we wanted to franchise that coffee shop, I can franchise your business for $20,000. Average franchise,
Hey, Rob, say that one more time for the people in the cheap seats.
$20,000.
Oh, yeah, in the cheap seats. That's right.
$50,000 all day. Basically, the
Right.
cost of trying to start another one. Plus, you still need the $150,000. But if
So
you
Rob,
go ahead, bro.
so Rob, in my sanctified imagination, I hear somebody thinking, I've looked up these franchise things and they say you got to be worth X amount of dollars and you have to have X amount of capital to even get a seat at the table. But I've listened to you before. We've done a couple podcasts together. So for those ones that are apprehensive because they see this thing as a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. And so that is insurmountable. Can you crack that open real quick and answer those folks?
BHAG?
Big, hairy,
Yeah,
audacious goal.
big hairy audacious goal. So yeah, you're in some instances like a legacy franchise is what you're talking about, like a McDonald's. Yes, it's gonna cost you a bag to get a McDonald's franchise because it's been around for so long and they're so valuable. So you're gonna have to have at least $1 million net worth, and it's probably gonna cost you about another $1 million to get a franchise. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about in terms of that franchise. There are franchises out there that you can get for $10,000. There's franchises you can get out there for $2,000. So so you have to look at the emerging franchises, those that are coming on board. They may not be a Wendy's, or they may, particularly if you're trying to just get started. So there's franchises at every level. So that's one of the other things that is such a advantage of franchising is that they can meet you where you are. You can, if you got $1 million net worth, if you just want a McDonald's and that's what your dream is, you can put your paper together and you can go after McDonald's. But there's a whole lot of other franchises. There's probably over about 15,000 different franchises out there in any particular industry that you may have an interest in that you can apply for a franchise. And going back to what I was saying before, if you were to decide that you wanted to franchise that coffee shop, the reason why franchising is so powerful, the average franchise fee is about $50,000, which you can get financed. So if you pay $20,000, franchise your coffee shop, sell the first one for $50,000. Now you're $20,000 to the good, $30,000 to the good on your investment. The franchisee the person who wants to buy your or become your franchisee, they have to go out and get a loan to open up that second coffee shop.
Hey Rob, I'm gonna stop you right there, man, because you dropping this knowledge on them. But we're gonna take a commercial break because I know you had a
Right.
hard time. But if you got a little bit more time, I still want you to pick right back up. This is
All
the
right.
Wake Up Show Chicago, and you know what we doing every Saturday. Come on now, drop that break for us.
And we're back. You're listening to the Wake Up Show Chicago, brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. I tried to get my Buddy Luv on. Make sure if you want to call in, call 773-591-1690 and go to our website at ilbcc.org to get registered for the upcoming Getting Down to Business Conference, the 19th annual one. And we're still here with Robert Johnson. Robert, I have a question for you. In the Black community, the rumor has it that certain franchises make you buy in for a little amount of money, and you're kind of the stipulations are that you have to work there as a manager full time. And as you build up that following, that particular location, that particular franchise can be pulled from under you at any given time. What do you say about the people that may have a stigma because of that being something that has been relevant to a particular franchise? I don't think I want to say the name of the franchise,
No.
but yeah, we all know which one it is.
Drop that T. No. So, so when you enter into a franchise relationship, you're entering into a partnership with the franchisor. So there's a document that you have to sign called the franchise disclosure document. That's basically the contract between you and the franchisor. So the franchisor does not have the right to pull your business unless you're in violation of the franchise agreement. So in instances where somebody's franchise has gotten revoked, there's usually a lot more to it. Now, I'm not saying that every franchisor out there is 100, but the franchises that we work with. So let's break it down a little bit more specifically. We've identified 150 what we call socially responsible franchisors. Those are franchises that are interested in doing business in our community, interested in working with African American women, veteran individuals with disabilities, and sell products or provide services that are additive to our community. They don't sell, stuff that's going to make our community sick. They don't engage in practices that are going to be detrimental to our community. So you're right. There's some folks out there, just like in anything, that are trying to get over and not above board. So we carefully vet the franchises that we recommend. And more importantly, one of the things that we're trying to do, and one of the brothers that's going to be on the panel that we're having at the convention is George Ray from the International Franchise Association, who is the senior director Senior Director of Franchise Operations, and the International Franchise Association has developed what they call the Ascension Initiative, which is aimed at increasing access to more African Americans into the franchise game and basically provide them with resources, education, putting them in front of these types of franchises that we're talking about, and showing them how to access capital. What a lot of people don't recognize is that franchises, 99% of them, 99.9% of them are SBA approved. Going back to what I said earlier, because it's a proven business model, a bank will give you money for a franchise because they see that they can see your plan, they can see a path to getting paid back. That's one of the main reasons why I'm an advocate for franchising, because the access to capital issue is real. The other reason that I'm real big on franchises is because a number of our people in our community have had to sit down. They've had to spend some time, in a place that they didn't want to be. It's hard. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to get a business loan. It's hard to start a business. It's just hard after you had that situation occur to you in your life. One of the benefits of franchises, especially the ones that we've identified, is that if a franchisor sits across the table from you and they understand that you paid your debt to society or whatever your situation was, and you beyond that, and they believe that they can make money with you, that you hungry, that you smart, that you got the wherewithal to help grow their brand, there's no prohibition for them awarding you a franchise. That's huge. They're more
So Rob,
concerned about your future than your past. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
So Rob, I know you got to run, and we got another guest, but what I'd like for you to do, give me a synopsis of what your panel and your keynote is going to be about down at the conference. So I want to get some people excited about what you guys are going to be talking about. So can you summarize that thing for me, and I'll let you go because I know you got to run, Doc.
Absolutely. We're going to be talking about creating wealth, closing the racial wealth gap through the power of Black franchise, and giving you the blueprint. We're going to have three amazing panelists. I just mentioned one, Brother George Ray, flying in from the International Franchise Association to talk about the Ascension Project, and then Melvin Buckley, a extremely successful former McDonald's franchisee, and now he's about to embark upon a new Black-owned franchise that everybody knows the name of, but I can't tell you. I'm gonna have to let him tell you, because it's gonna be the first one of its kind here in the Illinois area. So we're real excited about that. And then Derek Thomas, who is have been with Starbucks 30 years. Starbucks now is about to start franchising again, providing opportunities for Black folks in particular to look at their opportunity. And all three of these brothers are going to talk about their experience, about the wealth of knowledge that they have, and the wealth of opportunity that exists in franchising.
Well, Rob, my man, it's always good to hear you, brother. And I can't wait to get with you down there at the Illinois State Black Chamber Conference, because we do what we do, my brother. So we appreciate you, man, for your knowledge and what you do out here for us in the business world. My man. So,
Peace.
we got next up, the next guest to line up. And, this time I'm going to do it right. I'm going to shake and give him a crossover. Give the look away like, what we got, this producer.
Well, before we go to our next guest, make sure you guys go to ilbcc.org so that you can get your registration. Registration is about to close on July 31st, and you will miss out on the wealth gap. All right. As an executive director of the Chatham Business Association, I got it right this time.
That's right.
She advocates for and provides support to small businesses, enhancing social, political, and economic growth within Chatham and surrounding Chicago communities. Her success in facilitating public and private sector partnerships has earned CBA recognition as a leader in economic development and garnered support from prominent organizations and individuals, including an appointment by Mayor Rahm Emanuel to the Small Business Advisory Council. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming Miss Melinda Kelly.
Hi, thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I have to thank Larry for having me on the show and for all the work he does as our state leader.
Thank you for coming. All right, so Melinda, when it comes to the Chatham Business Association, we have a lot of businesses that are in different communities throughout Chicago. And when I grew up in Chatham, by the way, so I've watched the growth. I've watched how we have different businesses that have gone from being a mom and pop to actually the beautification of the look of the and the feel of the neighborhood. Now, how does one get involved with that? Because I know that there are some businesses that like business.
One of the things that we do is that we work with businesses where they are. So sometimes businesses need help. All businesses need customers. Business is nothing but a good idea with some marketing and research behind it. You have to make sure you have some labor and talent to support it. Obviously, the things we talked about that are going to be offered at the conference, access to capital, you've got to have relationships. You have to know if the alternative energy space is for you. You've got to learn about this AI, this new intelligence that's there. And if you do it as a business owner by yourself, I'm telling you, you're not going to succeed. You've got to do it in collaboration with local chambers like Chatham Business Association and those of us that lead these chambers that are also part of the state chamber, the Illinois Black Chamber. And then we're also part of national chambers so that those positions allow us to work directly with the federal government to help small businesses access those resources. So
Oh, she froze.
Oh, she froze.
Hmm.
Oh, I was getting ready to go in because definitely I'm like you, Ray, from that Chatham area. So
did I
we
freeze? Am I unfroze yet?
yeah,
Yeah, you
that's all
froze a little
right.
bit.
It was almost like a game of red light, green light. You know what I mean? So, it's okay. It's okay. So, Melinda, as I was saying, so I'm actually from that area as well. So,
Mhm.
in your assessment, when you look at Chatham, what are some of the things you feel, in your opinion, should be at the top of your list to changing that community? From like down the 75th corridor and the 79th and in those areas.
Well, first of all, Chatham was built on the predecessors of very successful Black businessmen who
Mhm.
are unapologetically commerce first. And
Right.
we continue in that vein. I say that to say to remind you of the history of it. During COVID and other things, when other communities didn't make it, our businesses continued to thrive. We learned a lot about having more access to banking relationships, legal help, and more importantly, technology. Uh, but we've always band together to keep Chatham going. We are improving the corridors. You've got to bring customers to the area. We got to make it more walkable. And obviously, am I freezing again?
No, no,
Economic
no. It's
development.
fine.
Okay. The small businesses are going to change the quality of life in Chatham. They do, as big as we are and as wonderful as a community, we had to create a program called Get Connected because we were technically in a broadband desert, which means you
Right.
have all these architectural great buildings, right? But you don't have access to the technology that can bring a customer. Right now, people don't shop by getting in their cars and going away. You got to have an online presence. You have to be able to pull those customers into you, promote yourself. You have to connect. We're in this transportation hub that's expanding. The Create project is coming where the railroads are being more active. We got this Metro expansion on 79th coming in that's going to bring more traffic. We got to get to those people. So we have to market ourselves. We have to have contracts with these businesses that are uh, expanding and part of this um, TDL boom.
Mm.
All of those things have to happen, and they are happening because we've got leadership. We were just part of the SBA pilot program for 2 years, where we had access to knowledge of federal contracts that we were able to bring to hyper local businesses. in Chatham. But the thing is to get businesses ready so that we can engage in them. Paperwork can be a kryptonite. That's one of the services that we have. We usually have a booth, and we'll have one at the Illinois Black Chamber, so we can help businesses through these certification processes, make sure that they're registered at the airport to to participate on that level, because you got to diversify that income, especially if you're running a business these days.
Definitely. I love this. I love this. Well, Melina, we're going to take a quick break and, do what we do, pay a few bills, get back into really pushing down on what we're doing at the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce for our convention. And stay tuned. We'll see you on the other side. It's the Wake Up Show, Chicago.
Welcome back to the Wake Up Show Chicago, powered by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. You guys, we are getting ready for our 19th annual business conference. And so, Miss Melinda, this is MC. I got a question.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Can you answer that question for that business owner in your community about the purpose or the importance of going down to this conference, because you've been there in previous years? So can you crack that open for us and address those types of concerns?
You don't have the time not to go.
Woo.
Everything as a small business is about return on your investment. You don't have time to spend on Facebook if it's not bringing you money. You don't have time to socialize with people that are wasting your time and telling you to go get a job.
Well,
This is something you cannot afford not to do. Whether you are in business, believe me, you need to diversify your income, expand. You need to pull your head up, know what's going on politically on a policy level that's affecting your business. You need to learn about business opportunities. You need to meet other people, and you also need to know you're not alone. You have to go there. Paperwork is kryptonite, and a lot of experts like us are there that Larry brings in. There's a lot of different organizations. We do a lot of different things. You need to be there to understand that process and at least know who to call if you really need to what you need, instead of going through, as Mr. Johnson mentioned, you don't want to go to different franchises who are going to end up hurting you after you've invested all that time and energy. You want to be in the right people, with the right people, with the right group. If something goes wrong, this world is not fair. It's not 100% perfect. And if you're Black, believe me, you're already in a social economic business. You are going to run into a problem. You're going to need support. This is where it starts. So I'm going to say, whether you're in business, I'm going to say, if you think you have a good idea, this is where to come and flex that muscle and see if it'll work for you. You cannot afford not to be there. What you will get in these 2 days, it would take you about 5 years to run around and get this information by yourself and alone, and you won't retain it. No one's that smart.
I love it. And speaking of paperwork and the intimidation of paperwork, we're going to have the matchmaking session where corporations are going to sit across one-on-one with small businesses. And we're at the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce is collecting those capability statements. And you mentioned that you help them, you help small businesses with resources. No one wants to show up in these opportunities without being prepared. How difficult is it to raise the awareness with these small businesses when they come to you, and let them know the importance of being prepared so that they can stay in business, not just be in business? And we just lost her for a second. She may tap back in, but that goes back to the capability statements that we're collecting. We have a caller on the line. Melinda, we'll come back to you when you come back with us. Loretta. Oh, yeah, you are back. Loretta, hold on one second. Melinda, did you hear the end of that question?
Yes, you mentioned the paperwork, but what I would say is that it is, because before you get in that room, they're going to ask you, what kind of credentials do you have? You need to help us with your capability statement so it brings out what you need. It's going to ask you about your certifications. All of those things you should have prepared when you come. And if you don't, go ahead, get those. If you don't have them, we'll be there at the table so we can set up a time to make sure you're up to par. It's very competitive. That capability statement is your only introduction. So you want to make it. If you go to these matchmaking sessions and they don't remember you, then we got to work on your capability statement. We have to work on your presentation and your pitch about your business, because people don't remember if it gets too long. You got 30 seconds to pretty much say what you do and how you do it well and why you're better than me at doing it, or what makes me unique. Sometimes it's as simple as, I know your culture and your community is about accessing and improving the skills of the people in the community where your business is. I'm one of the businesses in the area that can help you do it. Let me tell you my experience and how, and give you your feeder line. We know talent is important to larger businesses, so we can help you tailor based on those matchmaking skills, your capability statement. You need the eyes, and you need the extra set of eyes and constructive criticism, and more importantly, support to help you structure it.
I love it, Melinda. And you're going to be at the conference this year. We'll see you there.
Yes, please look for our CBA table. We're always there, a phone call away.
I love it. Can't wait to see you at the conference. Again, go to ilbcc.org to get your registration up, guys. And we're gonna go to these callers. Loretta, hi, welcome to the Wake Up Show Chicago. You have a question? Loretta, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
There you go. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
we can.
Hey, listen, I just want to say thank you for this show. Both Robert Johnson and Melinda Kelly, you're speaking my language. It is so beautiful to hear Black people talk about businesses. I will definitely be at the conference along with my business partner and husband. We will be there. I encourage all of you to show up for the relationship. So be there and get some relationships and learn what you must do to take the next step to grow your business.
All right, I like that.
Can't wait to meet you.
Come on now, I'm dancing. I'm
listen,
dancing.
Let's go ahead and go to our next caller, Marty.
Matt.
Oh, Matt. You know, they got the screen all the way across there. So charge to my head and not my heart. What's going on?
Good morning.
All right.
And thank you all. I've listened to your show for several months now, and I'm really impressed with the efforts that all of you are putting out to help our minority and particularly our Black-owned businesses. You guys are one and one with me, one win and one loss with me. Okay, I attended the Loretto Hospital event a couple months ago, and I have a business that I'm trying to start up. It's a counseling business for adolescents with substance use and behavioral health disorders, because those are the ones that are committing over half of the smash and grabs, carjackings, and low-level robberies in the city of Chicago and actually across the country. And we're utilizing a lot of technology, cutting edge technology to do so. But I cannot get anybody. All of the funding is going toward these existing facilities, but yet we're getting the same result. I just transferred the funds from my personal account into my business account so that I can attend this conference next week. And I'm counting on you guys to help me to get started, to help me get going. I've got a pretty good team in place that's been providing assistance to get us this far, but we need to get across the finish line as far as getting things started. We have had inquiries from 17 different cities around the country. So I'm interested in Brother Robert's presentation about franchising, because this treatment model and the business model that we're proposing is apparently pretty attractive. And so I'm counting on the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and this conference to really help me to push this and to get this thing going, because I got two special need kids that want to get married, and I got to build them a house.
Well, Matt, hey, Matt, you know, I feel your pain with that, my brother. I feel your pain, but at the same time, I commend you for checking us out and understanding what you need to do, and you've made that decision to do so. So definitely, when you come down to the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, we're gonna put in that work and get you lined up with people that can help you to get and make sure them kids get married and help you out along the way. So we got another caller.
Well,
Go ahead.
Yes.
yeah, make
You
sure
gotta
that
make
you
it quick.
email us so that we have your information, so that we make sure you have what you need to meet with those one-on-ones. It's info@ilbcc.org. Make sure you email us, Matt.
Melinda had a question for Matt.
A list that we can share with you. What I recommend is partnerships are important. To your point, those people are in line and getting existing funding. Sometimes it's easier to partner with them and carve out your network, to put that on your resume, to get going, to build your organization. So we can connect you with those as well, because I know we're expanding with TCA Health in Chatham, but I also know Trinity is also looking for specialty partners that for the money they have, to do more.
All right, guys, we got to jump on. We got one more caller to take because we in our 2-minute run. So last caller, what is the caller's name?
Hi, Terry. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Hey,
Good
Terry.
morning,
Good
Wake
morning,
Up Joe.
Terry.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing? You're sounding wonderful, and I'm very, very excited about the conference that's coming up. Illinois Minority Business Development Agency Business Center will be there with the Illinois State Black Chamber. We are a strategic partner, and we are so excited about this year. Every year has been great, but this year you guys are elevating it even more. And from the fashion show to all of the resources like the Illinois MBDA and all of the other great opportunities that you guys bring to businesses to help them grow and scale. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see you and be there. So keep doing what you're doing and keep helping businesses grow, because we need resources like the Illinois State Black Chamber and you guys. And Mike, we'll be working on those capability statements, those resumes that show who you are, what you're capable of doing. So when you get in front of these large corporations, you'll be ready. Thank you guys for having me on this.
Hold on, Terry. So, you know, we were talking about the capability statements. For those people who don't have a capability statement and you want assistance with that, you can reach out to Strategic Exceptions. Terry, how does somebody reach out to you guys if they need help with those capability statements?
They can reach out to us at info at strategicexceptions.com. That's STRATEGICEX TEPTIONS.com. Thank you, guys.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, it's time to wrap up. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the Wake Up Show Chicago. We are here every Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is look for the Wake Up Show Chicago. Make sure you put Chicago behind
And
that.
you know that's right, because what we doing for business each and every week, we got to shake them up to wake them up. So come on now. You rocking with the show that does the most. Wake Up Show Chicago, the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. Till the next time, people.
Good night, John Boy.